It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow, it's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
Educate, empower, enable, impact. Thank you for tuning in to That Will Never Work podcast, where we share inspiring information and personal experiences related to business and the entrepreneurial journey from those who are leaders in their respective field. Now, here is your host, author and business coach, Maurice.
Thank you very much for tuning in today. We have a powerhouse today, and it's going to be really interesting because a lot of us can really relate to where she's coming from. And since she's graduated college, she's always found and been successful in her corporate careers, like a lot of us feel as though we have. But however, something was always nagging at her that she was not really being fulfilled. And she found her passion by helping others transform. And a lot of times we're looking for that transformation. We're looking for a way to grow and to get beyond something else. We always had that nagging feeling, right? So when she began coaching other entrepreneurs and helping them to grow, she really, truly found her calling. And a lot of times we find that by accident. So at the core, Leap to Your Success focuses on the LEAP Foundation, leveraging communication, energy, action, and performance. Thought process, we complete action plans that include mindset exercises that truly transform individuals and businesses. She has had incredible interviews, and most podcasters are intrigued with their vision, their core values, mindset, and accountability that leads businesses and individuals to act and grow into their vision, which a lot of us are looking forward to today. I know I am. Maybe I could use some coaching today as we're on, right? So I thank you very much for listening today. And Jacqueline, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Oh my God, thank you so much for having me as a guest. I love the topic because entrepreneur, and if people are thinking about entrepreneurship and dabbling into entrepreneurship or looking to make that leap or have that nagging feeling like I had, you're in the right spot.
So Jacqueline, the idea for the show is talking about from stuck to soaring. But here's one thing I would like to start off with. A lot of us in our corporate careers, we are dealing with the golden handcuffs. And a lot of times those golden handcuffs has us tied to this chair, tied to this desk, because we don't want to get rid of the benefits, our 401ks, 403bs, things like that. And a lot of times it's not really fulfilling us or what we feel is our calling. So what encouraged you to break free of those handcuffs? What made you find that key or get the wire snippers, and decide that, hey, you know what? It's really time for me to soar.
So there's so many things that are going through my head right now. So I'm going to just things I want to start with. So number one, the thing that actually made me take the key and unlock the golden handcuffs. And I actually want to say I think this is something that almost needs to be addressed. Because I have a newsletter that's going out tomorrow on this, which is corporate America we all have this thing that we want to run from corporate America. And what it really comes down to is that we're running from leadership. We're running from the way companies are being run and how they treat us as individuals, because we should never feel like we have those golden handcuffs. So I did, and I was part of a company where I did feel trapped, and it was lousy leadership. It was, so for me, there were things that were building up to the time when I just said, Uncle, we are done. Right? Move on. Right.
Right.
And so what that moment was there was a few different things. I had my second child.
Okay.
And right before, or actually when I was telling the senior VP of sales and marketing that I was pregnant, he made a comment that I probably could have sued. He said, and I kid you not, he said, "Oh, that's why Martin doesn't like hiring women, because they leave and get pregnant." And I was like, so that put a pit in my stomach, kind of like, now I don't want to work for you, jerk. And it really put a damper on how I saw my position, how I saw myself within the company. And then, so it really, and then I looked at the CEO in a very different light. And then I started looking at the CEO as to really who he was, and if our values aligned, and where
Hey, it is Ryan Seacrest. There's something so thrilling about playing Chumba Casino. Maybe it's the simple reminder that with a little luck, anything is possible. ChumbaCasino.com has hundreds of social casino-style games to choose from, with new game releases each week. Play for free anytime, anywhere, for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for 50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow. It's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
Where did I fit in this organization? Was it my passion? Did I feel like I was being heard? Did I feel included in the management and the processes that were going on? And the answer was no. And so that was like one thing that was like kind of clouding my judgment. And the second thing that was clouding me was I had a conversation with a couple other women that were at the company. And one of them said to the other, said, I don't think what you're doing, I don't know, is that change going to help you with your career? And it was like a light bulb moment that went off when I was like, oh, my career. I have a career. And I had stopped thinking about my career. And I was I was treating it had become a job. And there's a huge difference between career and job. And so when I came home and I'm taking my kids to school and taking them to, their stuff, it's like that epiphany, like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing this for? Who am I doing it for? What am I getting out of this job? Because my career had become a job. And I went home and I just like started writing out what I wanted and what I felt was missing and where did I want to go and what could I offer? And I literally basically left my job, quit, picked up the phone, called the CEO and said, done. Then I told my husband and he's like, well, what are we going to do? And I'm like, trust me. I will do something. I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. And it was writing out what I wanted. It was like those uncle moments that just became really, I'm done. I'm like fist on the mat out, that led me to really writing down all that I wanted, not what I needed, but what I wanted. And where I saw myself and where did I want to see myself in 5 years and 10 years, and what was the vision that I had in my head of me. And okay, so I'm 56 and I probably shouldn't say that, but I'm 56 years old. And I remember watching Dallas, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I don't remember the character's name and who she was or whatever, but I remember, okay, so first of all, she was blonde hair. And I remember she was like standing behind a desk and she was like running some perfume business or something. And I'm like, I want to be running my own business. I want to be in charge of me, because I don't ever want anyone ever to feel like I feel right now. If I can change how other people feel in their company, at their work, what they're doing, if I can help people feel that they have a career and not a job, then I'm going to feel amazing. Like that's going to make me feel good, because I never want to feel the way I'm feeling right now, which was undervalued, unappreciated, that my company didn't care what my career was and what I wanted at all. We never talked about it. So it was all of those things. I'm like, if I can change the world, it's like, the Star Thrower story. If I can change it for one person, 2 people, 3 people, and make that change, it doesn't have to be hundreds. I just need to help one.
So, I'm sorry, real quick. My mind went totally left when you said Dallas. It made me also think about Falcon Crest. So I just want y'all to understand. So I just want y'all to know how old we are. But anyway, I think some of the things that we miss, right? Sometimes, especially in corporate America, we don't always understand our self-worth.
No.
And as we listen to our supervisors, are they really encouraging us to become a better version of ourselves, or are they just looking at the bottom line? Right. Are they encouraging us to say, hey, you know what? We can take whatever ideas you have and implement them into our processes, no matter what the situation is. So sometimes we don't get that encouragement. So I think that's one of the things that you're talking about that you struggle with is understanding your self-worth beyond the value and things like that. Like, or how much are you really worth? Right.
And that was a huge, it was almost, here's the crazy thing about it. I remember walking into this company that I left and interviewing, and I was so flippant excited because I couldn't wait to bring what I could bring to the table. And I felt when I interviewed and when I got the job, I knew my worth, but it's almost like emotional abuse, right? Where over time, somebody's kind of knocking you down at work and instead of lifting you up. And so all of a sudden it's like this weird shift where all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, where's the time gone? What am I doing?
Right.
And I loved what this company was when I started, and I was excited for what I thought I could bring and what my value was to this company. And now I don't. Right. So so this is where, if there's 2 things. So and I think this is one of the biggest advices that I can feel like I can give to somebody who is, if they're thinking about jumping ship or entrepreneurship, or they're dipping their toe in the water right now and trying to see if they can make what they're doing, the side gig, the hustle. There's a couple things. Cause I was there. So one is, if the company that you're working for, if you like the work, if you like the idea of what you do, maybe it's not, maybe jumping ship, maybe it's either jumping departments. That'd be something to think about. If you like what the company does and you value the mission of the company. And the key word, what is the mission of the company? Because I think a lot of times people forget to look at that. How do you align with the mission of the company? If you don't align with the mission of the company and you do want that 401k and you want the benefits, because there is security in that, right? So then my recommendation would be, instead of just jumping ship but really look at opportunities outside of the company where you are. It's always easier to get another job or within your career when you have one. But really look at companies for their mission, and if you really align with that company, and to ask questions of the leaders, like, what do you do to inspire your team? How do you bring the team into the mission of the company? And if anybody's curious, like, just hook me up. I'm happy to help them with questions to ask.
Right.
But the other thing is, and if you do want to jump ship, again, get excited about the company, not the position. Because when you walk into an interview, you want them to see that you're passionate about the company and what the company does, and then the position. And yes, can you do the work? I mean, we can always, no offense, we can talk our way into anything. I can help you to do that. But be passionate about what the company does, right? So that's sort of number one. Number two is if you are thinking and you've got this side hustle, because I was there, I had a side hustle, and if you're successful and if you're doing well in that side hustle, you have to remember that because you have a day job or you have something else going on, you're very structured to doing your side hustle. So if you get rid of your day and take your side hustle to full, don't lose structure. Because in actuality, what ends up happening, and I see this time and time again, we have a corporate job, we've got our side hustle. And trust me, whether you're doing network marketing, direct sales, you're doing graphic design on the side or bookkeeping or whatever you're doing, and you're like, oh my God, if I just had a few more hours, I could replace my income. You have to remember that. And like I said, I've seen it time and time again. People get rid of the day, and then all of a sudden they have all this time, and then they forget about structure. You have to put structure in your day so that you keep doing your side hustle. And you feel it. You don't have this. You have to kind of still give yourself that same amount of time and fill your day up so that you got the time constraint, so you're focused. Right.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go No, go ahead.
Oh, no. So I was going to say, what I'm listening to you say, because we're talking about, you mentioned leadership, understanding the mission or the vision of the organization, understanding that organization, do I align with their...
It can get lonely climbing Mount McKinley, so to entertain myself, I go to ChumbaCasino.com. At Chumba Casino, I can play hundreds of online casino-style games for free, like online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Plus, I get a daily login bonus. It's just too bad that up here, I don't have anyone to share my excitement with. Woohoo!
Live the Chumba life, anytime, anywhere. Play for free now at ChumbaCasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow. It's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
where they're going versus the position, because sometimes, like you said, we get caught up in the position or the financial piece of that position.
Right.
And making sure that we have structure within our side hustle and taking and making that decision whether or not we want to turn into our full-time, passion. What I'm hearing out of all of that is taking control or managing myself a lot better than I have. Because sometimes we feel in a lot of that, we lose control because we're like you talk about with the structure, some of that is control. So how do we control everything else around us, especially when we feel as though we don't? Sometimes from a corporate America perspective, it feels like the manager or the CEO has 100% control. But we don't always feel empowered that we have that control, that we can control our own destiny within that organization and being able to grow the organization in another way. So whether it's ours or theirs, and understanding that culture as well. So how do we take back control of ourselves in places where we feel as though we don't have it?
It's a really great question. So first and foremost, I talk about this a lot. We have to be the CEO of ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. So be the CEO of you. And when you're the CEO of you, you have to know your own personal mission and your values and what you stand for and what your mantra is. And if you are in a company, how do we take back control? We have to have those hard conversations with the people that we report to, or our managers or the leaders of the company. And we have to have those conversations. If you don't feel that you can say, I need to take off time, or if you don't feel that you can have that the person who is your leader or manager doesn't know you well enough and doesn't know where you want to go, then you have to do that. You have to have that conversation and say, if you and I were talking, I would say, okay, we need to sit down. Like, I need to schedule time with you. We need to sit down. I want to really clarify my position here and map out where I am going to be going and where I can go, and then ask the question, do you have my back? Because if they say, yes, of course I have your back. Okay. Let's make a plan, because I'm tired of pushing buttons. I want my pushing buttons to maybe turn into rotating a wheel, right? So we need to, where are we going in the scheme? And so if you've got my back, prove it to me. And it's really hard to ask these questions, but this is also one of the things that we do with leadership. So part of my LEAP framework, and the part of it is leveraging communication. It's the communication we first and foremost say to ourselves. What are we telling ourselves every single day? But how do we communicate with other people our mission and our vision for ourselves? And this is kind of going back to where, we were talking about, people might have those golden handcuffs on. This is one of the biggest issues, I believe, what just happening in corporate America is that leaders tend to forget that everybody on their team, they're a partner. And every one of those people that is a partner also has a vision and a mission for their lives. And you need to know that. We need to drill into the people that are our team members and the partners. And if you think of them as employees, you shouldn't be a leader. They are your team members and your partners. And so we have to know what our mission is as a team, the individuals, so that we can get the best out of people. And if your leader doesn't do that, reverse engineer it and ask them what their mission is, and ask them and have those hard conversations so that you can be the one taking control of you. So don't wait for somebody to ask.
So I listened to one of the other podcasts you were on, and you had mentioned about encouraging people to do their own daily affirmations. And I thought about that, and now even what you're saying right now, I think it ties in this way. Well, Jacqueline, I hear what you're saying. It sounds positive. I have no idea what to say because I can't formulate the words. I can't formulate the sentences. I can't figure out how to really motivate myself, let alone the team and everyone else around me. And because my manager or the CEO feels so intimidating, as soon as I see their face, I lose everything, right? So how can I build up that courage to say the right word at the right time in the right space, whether it's the daily affirmations for myself or for me to even speak up and quote unquote fight for myself in corporate America?
So if you're struggling with your own daily affirmation and what you want to say to yourself, then if anybody's listening, I would say 2 things. 1, book a complimentary call with me and I will help you craft your own affirmation. Or if you can, there is an amazing book called 10,000 Positive Affirmations. Go look at it, grab it. It is broken down into success, money, wellness. It's got all these different topics. Open it up and just read a couple every single day to yourself if you can't find your own words. And then the one thing, if you see somebody, if you're looking for that courage, tell yourself every day, I can do this. I am smart. I am strong. I'm confident. You have to feel that confidence before you can act, right? And sometimes it's looking in the mirror and telling yourself, it's saying like, Jaclyn, you are confident. Jaclyn, you can do this. Jaclyn, you are a badass, right? So, right? Like, tell yourself, you have to believe in yourself. You really have to believe in yourself. And so practice what you want to say. If you want to have that conversation, even if it's just saying hi to somebody, start with the hello. If somebody intimidates you and you see them every day, just start with, hey, how are you? Just say hello and smile. Start with that. And then it will build. Every time you see them, say a couple of more words like, hey, how are you? Oh, Maurice, how are you doing today? Oh, Maurice, give a compliment. Nice smile. Oh, just start with little things that anybody can do. And you will see the person who intimidates you will stop intimidating you, because you have to remember they're a person too. Right? And so believe in yourself, talk to yourself. I have cards that, I have an affirmation that I read every day, that I say to myself. I've got another one on my wall that says, who can I help today turn their passions into profit? So what can you say to yourself that's going to uplift you? So start with writing your own affirmations, reading one, or maybe you want to listen to one, whether it's listening to this podcast or there are some there's a podcast of the 50 most inspirational speeches. Listen to those. Those are some awesome speeches, right? So listen to something. And then if the person's intimidating you, say hi, say hello, start with the small things and build up. And know that you know this, because this is so true. And I think we get tricked up on this. You can never, ever say the wrong thing to the right person. Right? So we can never say the wrong thing to the right person. And sometimes that is a telltale sign. Right?
Wow.
But courage, we have to have that courage and believe in ourselves.
Jacqueline, I really appreciate you, coming on today. I really feel more empowered. And I think people that are listening feel more empowered, because I think at the end where you're talking about just the simplest thing of just saying hi changes things. It could, and it could be just saying hi to the coworkers or the person on the street. But most importantly, it might be just us looking in the mirror and just saying hi to ourselves.
Yes.
And I think that's a very a powerful statement. Just maybe we need to be reintroduced to ourselves and understand who we really are. So I thank you very much for this space. Jacqueline, please reiterate where people can find you and talk to you for these other more impactful and powerful moments.
So go to my website, which is leaptoyoursuccess.com. So it's leaptoyoursuccess.com. So leaptoyoursuccess.com. Go there. When you get to my website, there's actually going to be a complimentary Unstoppable Achievers journal. Grab it. And then book a call with me. Grab a complimentary call with me. I love connecting with people and helping them find their mission and their mantra and helping them just level up and feel empowered, because that's what we want. I want everybody to feel and be unstoppable.
Nice. So Jacqueline, before I let you go today, I got to ask you my question, my world famous question.
Yes.
What would you do? What would you rather? Would you rather choose 3 doors or a fork in the road?
I'm going to take the fork in the road.
Any particular? Now, before you give the answer, because I'm going to ask you why, there are no parameters, okay? It's wherever your imagination allows you to go. So would you still choose that way? And then why would you choose it?
So the fork in the road. So doors, first of all, doors to me are, doors can open, but it's a door. So, but a fork in the road lets me take a path down any place I want to go and lets me keep dreaming and lets me know that, it's a fork in the road. It might take me down someplace that I never imagined. And I get to dream and I can make that fork and that journey however I want to go. And there are no doors, so I can just keep on going.
And again, I think, first of all, I thank you for answering that question. But I think even with your answer still tends to what the show was about, which is about taking control. A lot of times we don't have that. We look at right or left and we think that we have to accept any and everything that is down that path. I hear what you're stating, allowing yourself to still dream and take control of whatever opportunity is down that space. I thank you very much for that idea.
Oh, you're welcome. The one of the biggest things, and we know this, but life's journey, it's a journey, and that path helps us go down that journey, and it lets us like the vision that comes to my head is a fork in the road. Robert Frost, I took the road that less traveled, right? So you can take the road less traveled, and that's okay. You can also take the road that has been more traveled, but the way that you walk that path is going to be very different the way that somebody else has walked it. And so we have to remember our journeys are our own journey. It's not anybody else's. And it's not a straight line. We're meant to zigzag. We're meant to go up and down hills. So know that you can always change the path you're on.
Right.
You just have to believe in yourself. And remember, you're unstoppable.
Thank you. I appreciate that, because a lot of times we get caught up where we feel as though we're not. We think we can be stopped, and because we hear what other people have to say, but ultimately it's ourselves. We stop ourselves.
Yeah.
Jacqueline, I thank you very much for coming on the show today.
Thank you very much for having me. I have loved and so enjoyed our conversation. I love connecting with you.
Same here. So, of course, Jacqueline's information will be in the show notes. So if you're driving, if you're walking, if you're paddle boating, you'll be able to click on her. You'll be able to click on the link to book your free call and the website. So, Jacqueline, thank you very much. And I thank each and every one of you for listening to That Will Never Work podcast. And I will talk to you a little later.
Thanks for listening. Find us on social media at Chisholm Group LLC and check back weekly for new episodes. Until next time, that will never work, or will it?
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow, it's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.